Having been blogging now for the past 3 years or so, and yes, I'm shocked to admit that as you are to hear that, a lot of the things that I've noticed in the blogging space are pretty much skewed positive. And I see why. I mean, it's incredibly motivating to see people earning thousands upon thousands of dollars every single month from a website. That being said, I found that these are often the exceptions to the rule. So in the video today, I wanted to dive into 4 of the biggest and 4 of the harshest truths and realities about blogging. So let's jump into it. So harsh truth number 1 is just going to be that getting to $100 per month unfortunately doesn't make the journey any easier. So this truth is taken from my own experience, so take it with a giant grain of salt. It's purely anecdotal. Typically then in the make money online entrepreneurial space here on YouTube, you often hear the term that making your first $100 is the hardest. Once you make $100, it's a lot easier and the snowball effect starts kicking in. Whilst there's some truth to this, I mean, as a blogger, your writing will most definitely be better after your 100th post than your first post. I found that really getting to $100 is really just the start, and growing from $100 to $1,000 is exponentially harder than getting your first $100 there. Why? Well, back in the day, while you were most definitely able to get a blog to $1,000 per month with 50 to 100 blog posts, algorithm updates, increased competition, all those things mean that you're probably looking at anywhere between 500 to 750 to 1,000 blog posts before you get anywhere near that, which in turn is obviously going to take a lot more time to achieve there. As such, just be prepared to grind out a lot more as soon as you hit that $100 per month threshold. Not something I want to admit to, but it's a lot more challenging, unfortunately. You will need a lot more content to thrive. One of the biggest differences that I've noticed from when I first started blogging to now, and the biggest change within the blogging industry within the past 5 years, is just the sheer amount of content needed to thrive. As I mentioned earlier on, before you could pretty much earn a decent amount with 50 to 100 blog posts, but those days unfortunately are long gone, and you're now looking at hundreds, if not thousands of blog posts in order to have a successful blog there. Now, the main reason for this is mainly because Google is basically updating the algorithm a lot more. They're taking a hell of a lot more of the search with things like YouTube videos, snippets, all those different kinds of elements, which are basically blocking out a lot of us bloggers and just basically catering to those bigger websites there. And on top of this, there's a lot of increased competition with the boom of niche sites, with everyday people like me and you trying to get in on the action there as well. Now, this also means that the average number of page views an individual blog post get is also unfortunately dropping. So back in the day, you could get by with a blog post potentially getting 500 to 1,000 page views every single month. However, now a much more realistic expectation, in my humble opinion, which isn't fact, let's be perfectly honest, is probably anywhere from 50 to 200 page views per blog post per month. So yeah, everything's going pretty downhill. Google can destroy your website overnight. Pretty serious one, guys, and this is probably the biggest challenge of setting up a blog in 2023. Now, I'm a part of Income School's Project 24. It's a fantastic beginner blogging course. There's an affiliate link in the description box down below if you are interested in learning more about it. But because of this, I'm a part of their forum as well as many, many other forums in and around the blogging world. And because of this, in the past year or so, I've seen algorithm update after algorithm update destroy so many blogs out there. It's really horrible to see, actually. There's some real horror stories out there, and one of the worst ones I've come across actually is a blog that has hundreds of blog posts on there, earning a couple of $1,000s every single month. And an algorithm update basically dropped that traffic from 70 to 90%, which is kind of horrendous, isn't it? Now, to add insult to injury, for every blog out there that loses traffic, rightfully in my opinion, due to, you know, poor SEO optimization or poor content, there's an equal number of blogs that have really strong SEO, really great content, and they just lose traffic completely randomly. Now, what's worse about this is that this can take months, if not years, to recover. And in some cases, the content of the website may never recover there as well. Ensure your content strategy is watertight just to prevent Google from even thinking about messing around with your rankings there. The final harsh truth of blogging then is that luck plays a much bigger part than we all like to think. This learning basically helped me get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So what the heck do I mean by this? Well, luck is the biggest unspoken factor when it comes to your blog success. I mean, to give you a direct example, you could have 2 blogs in the exact same niche, let's say woodworking, with the exact same number of posts on there, the exact same topics, the exact same level of detail in their posts, all have fantastic content, all have fantastic SEO, and one website will absolutely take off and earn thousands of page views every single month, hundreds if not thousands of dollars, and the other website will just completely be dead on arrival, basically. Why? Well, you're not really gonna like the answer to this one, but realistically, honestly, more than anything else, it's purely down to luck. And believe me when I say it plays a lot more of a bigger factor than a lot of us bloggers want want to think. This is one of the reasons why you might have a really successful blog right there that has launched a first or second website that earns 100,000 page views every single month. And then when they're more experienced, you'd think that, you know, the next website that they set will be a lot more successful. But in reality, sometimes those websites just don't take off, unfortunately, which is just part of the parcel of the game. Sometimes the truth is that these things are just out of your control, which is why it's super, super important not to get distracted by looking at the results of other people and just focused on your own websites. I know that's rich coming from someone who publishes monthly blog income reports, but realistically, you should take all of these things with a massive grain of salt there. So there you have it, guys. 4 of the harshest truths when it comes to blogging. Whilst this might sound a little bit negative, guys, the truth of the matter is knowing this information and still starting your website up regardless is just going to give you the grit, the determination, and basically all the skill set that you need to thrive. If we think about it, all these different elements are barriers to entry which prevent a lot of people from starting their websites there as well, which is just something that you should consider, because in the grand scheme of things, anything that's worthwhile, anything that's going to give you an additional income is going to be quite tough to do. So there you have it, blogging family. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you find your biggest, harshest truths, if that makes any sense, about blogging actually are. As always, however, if you are interested in more videos around, you know, blogging, side hustles, personal development, any of those kinds of things, absolutely smash the like and subscribe button, as it really, really genuinely does help out the channel. Ramadan Mubarak to any of you guys celebrating, as I am right now. Definitely a little bit hungry today. And as always, wishing you the best of luck with your blogs, your side hustles, your sales journeys. And until next week, I'll leave you to it. All the best, gang. Have a good one. Bye.